You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM640.
This here's a song about a place. Listen close, my dear friend, and it's gonna be nice, a 10 out of 10. I love this land so much, I love this land. It's such a special place. It's such a sacred state. And I think it's gonna be an awesome place. This country brings a smile to your face. Inside our nation, you were never alone. Oh, no, oh, no. It's this Sultamistan. Sultamistan is where I'm from. This is my home.
KFI AM640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's Later with Mo Kelly. It is my honor, it is my pleasure, it is my privilege to have in studio right now, as we are Instagram live at Mr. Mo Kelly, to have in studio right now none other than His Majesty, the Sultan of Slowjamistan. Should I, how do people usually refer to you, sir? As just His Majesty, the Sultan of Slowjamistan? What is protocol when it comes to that?
Well, the website, we have 3 acceptable addresses to me. Mr. Sultan or Sultan, His Excellency or Your Excellency. And finally, if you feel comfortable, Big Daddy is fine.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy,
okay.
Yes.
I feel a little bit uncomfortable calling you Big Daddy.
I love it when you call me Big Daddy. I really do.
So maybe His Excellency would
Sure.
be more appropriate. How did this come to you as far as creating a sovereign nation, the world's newest nation, but within the heretofore borders of California?
Well, look, I'm proud to say by birth I'm American. I have American blood, so I do not hide that. But many problems in America today. Specifically, shoes is a generous word, but we'll say shoes to make it simple. Can you imagine a clown shoe? Can you imagine you've been to the Circus Vargas?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
You know the big clown shoes? Could you imagine a clown shoe so big and ugly, but then many holes inside the said shoe? It is called Crocs, I believe. The Americans call them Crocs. And for years we have been pleading with local and national lawmakers to stop Crocs. We've talked to Senate, Congress, law enforcement to say, look, these shoes need to be stopped. They're infiltrating our families, children, people of all colors.
We have even arrested the crocodile leader. We have arrested some of the smugglers. But it does not stop.
It does not stop.
Reason.
So we said, you know what? We can do 2 things. We can resort to violence, but we are not that people. We are peace-loving.
Correct.
So we decided to start a country of our own, where the primary foundation of the country, the main law, the main focus, the value is Crocs are strictly prohibited.
Yes. My second guest, who's also in studio, you heard the second voice. He is Mark Corona, who is the chief border agent for Slowjamistan. So let me formally welcome you and introduce you to the audience. How do you go about? We talked about the legislative desire to outlaw Crocs, to start a new place, a new way of life. But as chief border agent, how do you go about implementing that plan and also putting into action a border security? Which is also respected by other sovereign nations.
We have put in a lot of work over at Slowjamistan. For example, when you get there, first of all, you have to watch the landmines. We have many landmines all over the Slowjamistan. If you step in the wrong one, it could explode with, I believe, Mexican candy. Depends what is in there for that mine, that day. We have, of course, the border protection and the arm and signs everywhere that say do not come in, and you are warned. Otherwise, like I said, you could blow up, and that would not be a good thing.
Well,
we have seen it on video before.
You're too humble, my friend. You don't take credit. The landmines do explode with confetti. And as he mentioned, Mexican.
Oh, they're pretty mines.
Oh, well, they're tasty too. Mexican candy. Have you had the Mexican candy?
No, I have not.
At first, it's very sweet, and then pow! Oh, it's very spicy. It's a big surprise. But he's being very modest. The big, beautiful wall he's overseeing is almost 0.00002% complete. So you can see a wall.
We are closer. We're getting a little bit closer every single day. I was measuring the other day.
Yes.
We have about a foot. You know, we're going slow, but we're going. Though.
Easy to step over, but it's there.
Yes.
They know it's there.
Yes, correct.
Okay, have you had any conversations with California's governor, Gavin Newsom? How does he fit into this? Has he been helpful or a hindrance in terms of moving this, not only this conversation forward, but this, lack of a better phrase, border dispute forward? Because I can assume that he's probably going to be a pain in the ass.
Well, look, I would actually wish he would. I'll say it's a little embarrassing for the Sultan to say, but I'm going to open up the messages right now. And as I thought, for example, we tried every avenue to reach him, including Gavin's TikTok, and the messages unread, every one of them.
You can find him at the French Laundry. He's probably there having dinner.
We shall go.
We are there.
We will do it.
Yep.
Okay, I think you can find him there. Or any TV station. He's always looking for a camera. So there's a good chance you'll find him just about anywhere where they're willing to talk to him.
It's funny, because we cannot stand attention seekers. We do not like that.
It is terrible.
I know you had to plead and work with our communications ministry to get the Sultan on the radio.
This was not an easy task, but that's why we appreciate your willingness to come on and talk about these very, very important issues. Now, when you started with no Crocs, and I detest them, and I, like you, think they have no place in our country. I can't stand when I see young people wearing them, and I really can't stand when I see old people wearing them. What do you think this allure is with Crocs? I mean, you have fentanyl and you have Crocs. I would put fentanyl as 1 and Crocs as 1A. How do you go about dealing with this scourge?
Well, I mean, look, there is no better way of displaying to the world that you have given up on life when you wear these shoes. It is very sad. I will tell you that years ago, only a particular subset of humanity wear the Crocs. If the Sultan can be brutally honest, it was the people that weren't very good looking, maybe not many friends, the weird people in class that wear the Crocs.
Yes.
But now you actually see beautiful women and good looking men of all colors.
What's the allure? I don't get it.
It is sad, very sad, very sad.
I don't know, and it hurts my brain, actually. It really does. I do not know. Look, they say, I will give you this. They say, we have talked to people, we have interviewed people, we have submitted people to the Slowjamistan re-education camp, and we have asked them, why the Crocs? And, they will say it's comfortable. They will say it's so comfortable. But then to this, the argument is, well, look, if you bake a warm, big loaf of bread in the oven, like a big French baguette, and you break it in half and you jam your foot in that piece of bread, that is so very comfortable as well. That doesn't mean you should do it.
I'm going to ponder that for a second. There's so much wisdom in that.
Don't try it. Do not go bake bread and try it, my friend, okay? The whole, if it feels good, do it. That is not the...
Sounds good. Bad idea.
Yes.
How did the idea first start out? It's one thing to have the idea for a sovereign nation. It's another thing to have people also believe in that idea. Sure. But what was the first step that you had to take as far as moving that from idea to actual execution?
Well, we had to annex the land. We had to go and take the land. It was peaceful. It was not, it was kind of by force, but...
Where is it exactly?
It is, look, maybe 90 minutes south of Palm Springs. It is near an area called the Sultan Sea. Are you familiar with the Sultan Sea?
Yes, I am.
Sultan with a U, not with an A. Sultan Sea. Imperial County, California, before we annexed it. So first we made the arrangements, we made the deal, we purchased the land. The Louisiana Purchase?
Yes.
This is the Slowjamistan Purchase, already in the history books, okay? So we bought the land, and then it simply started with a big sign that said, "Welcome to Slowjamistan." Apparently it was on the easement that Caltrans owned. And Caltrans, if anyone is listening from Caltrans, we have a bone to pick with you.
They are listening.
They put the big red ticket, and they said they were going to move our sign. It was a first international incident, but again, the Sultan is all of us peace-loving people in Slowjamistan. We worked it out.
Have you had any problems? I think of like Ammon Bundy and his problems with the FBI. There was a misunderstanding, I would say, on multiple occasions as far as what constituted American land and what was supposed to be for the people. Has the federal government, I should say, intervened at this point? United States federal government.
You mentioned Al Bundy. I mean, Al Bundy is he is a hardworking guy. He sells shoes. He is a family man, so we are big fans of Al Bundy.
No, it's a different Bundy. It's this Ammon Bundy. He was,
I don't know him.
Oh, I do not know who that is.
They had the big standoff with the FBI You know,
and
the Oregon, the
sure.
Malheur.
That is maybe the American news we don't. We have 3 cable channels in Slowjamistan, so we maybe not have catch that story. But look, I tell you, if there is a problem, we will solve it. Check out the hook while the DJ revolves it. That's our slogan in Slowjamistan. I don't know. But for example, they sent us a tax bill.
Oh, yes. That was crazy.
The audacity of
Insane.
a tax bill. So we wrote a letter.
A property tax bill?
Yes. Of property
Get
not
out
even
of here.
How dare they? How dare they?
So, look, I put pen to paper. I wrote a nice letter. I explained the situation that we are no longer part of not only Imperial County, but the United States. The tax bill, I think, was modest, $600. So I said, look, here is a check for $600 for foreign aid. You do something fun with this. You can take the office people out to a pizza party, but enjoy the $600. It is yours to keep. It is foreign aid. And they wrote back saying, no, it is definitely taxes. I wrote back, no, it is definitely foreign aid.
It was very confusing.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Joining me in studio right now is His Excellency, the Sultan of Slowjamistan, and also Mark Corona, who's the Chief Border Agent for Slowjamistan. We have more. When we come back, Your Excellency, I would love to get into how someone could become a citizen. I have more than a few messages about how can I be part of it? How can I leave the United States and make a run for the border? So can you talk about that with me next?
Fantastic. Yes, let's do it.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM640.
Play another slow jam. This time make it sweet. A slow jam for my baby and for me.
KFI AM640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, including Instagram Live. If you're not with me on Instagram at Mr. Mo Kelly, you're missing a momentous event right now as I have His Excellency in studio, the Sultan of Slowjamistan, and also Chief Border Agent Mark Corona. Your Excellency, let me come back to you. I left last segment with a tease saying, how could someone become a citizen? You came tonight bearing gifts, and I appreciate that. You gave me a brochure for the Republic of Slowjamistan and all this other memorabilia and a formal invitation. If I wanted to take the next step,
yes,
and maybe have dual citizenship or even become an expat, how do I go about doing that?
Yes, well, it is too late. We talked to your boss, and we told your boss, Robin, that we are ending your contract here at KFI effective end of the month. So you will be joining us on our first radio station in Slowjamistan. So for you, it's too late, my friend.
Well, that's good, because they've already canceled my benefits, so I knew I was halfway out the door. So,
no turning back. But look, for all of our beautiful KFI listeners in Radioland, as we like to say,
yes,
it is so simple. Trying to be a citizen in almost every country, so much red tape, so much waiting, the bureaucracy. We said, not for us in Slowjamistan. We make it easy. Literally, when the 2 or 3 clicks, you can go to slowjamistan.org. Right there, it says join, be a citizen. You click it, you answer a few questions, you make sure to follow the Sultan on Instagram and Twitter and MySpace. And my friend, you
got a MySpace page too?
Of course, absolutely. And let me tell you this.
That's where he's the most popular.
Let me tell you this, for the ladies of the Southland that are listening, if you're on Tinder and you're swiping and all of a sudden you see a handsome guy in a green suit and aviators and medallions and epaulets on the shoulders, that is me. That is my real pictures. That is the Sultan on the Tinder. Make sure to swipe right, not left, and send a heart. And you never know, you may be picked by the Sultan.
How do you deal with the added attention? And I think of world leaders and dictators and presidents, and they've always enjoyed, my word, the affection and attention of a lot of women, be they married or not. You obviously are not married, so there's no reason for you to withhold or hold back from any of that. How have you been enjoying your I don't want to say celebrity,
sure,
but just, do you have concubines? How does that work?
Well, I'll tell you, the Sultan has lots of love to give. That's just, it's the way it is. Ever since I was a small tot as well, when I was in the grade school, I would try to concentrate on my studies, and you would feel tap, 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 and the girls passing you notes. I appreciate it. You try to stay grounded as well. Look, right now, the concentration is on our nation and the benefit of the people. So I would like to say that I have been on many affairs around the globe, but we will keep that for the next episode, maybe for the secret podcast later.
Okay,
all right. The Sultan loves everybody. How's that?
All right. Well, I know the Sultan loves everybody, but let's be honest. We live in a world where politicians and world leaders are often vilified, and they may not be the object of everyone's affection. You are here tonight to be serious. You are here, I will say, with your royal guard, and you travel with security wherever you go. How have you had any incidents or concerning moments where you were not necessarily sure of your safety or the intentions of someone who might have been approaching you?
Well, sometimes the Americans have been meddling. We are on a Los Angeles tour this week, and we have the security secret, the SSS, the Slowjamistan Secret Service. Outside, maybe out front, you saw the vehicles.
Let's make sure we get some of them in view for our Instagram Live.
We do have vehicles. We have a cruiser, police car. We have a border patrol car as well. And we have a limousine this week. I'd like to tell you we have a limousine. And it is it may have been a 1991 Lincoln Town Car, but it drives like a 1999. It is very smooth. The air conditioning needs a little bit more Freon, if the limo company can hear us. But this week we drove around and we saw Hollywood. We stopped and look, Sultan is a man of the people. Mm-hmm. We got out. We walked around. Hey, explain to me. We went to Rodeo Drive. That was in Beverly Hills.
Oh, yeah. It's Rodeo when you're in Beverly Hills. When you're in the black part of the city, it's Rodeo. And actually, they renamed it to Obama Boulevard. So when you said Rodeo, I knew that you're in Beverly Hills. If you said Rodeo, it's like, oh, you in the hood.
Well,
it's the same street, though.
Well, it is a small problem. We did not see not one horse, not one cowgirl, not one ladies
not a clown, barrel, nothing.
No one wearing the Daisy Dukes. So I think it was a little misled on the advertisement of the Rodeo Drive, not the rodeo in sight. We did go to a very expensive store called Blueberry, I think.
Burberry?
What is it called?
Burberry?
I think that is it. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Blueberry.
And I made. Can you show Cade? Can you show the doubles? I made a very attractive offer to buy a bag. That is a gift, by the way. I'm giving a collector set of our currency.
Oh my goodness!
That is our currency to Mr. Mokeli. He's showing, for people listening on the radio, he's showing our currency. We have a 1, 5, 10, and 20 doubles. And anyway, I made the fine young chap at the Blueberry. I offered him 200 doubles for the bag, and he told me something like it was $5,000 for a bag, and then he asked us to leave the store.
Yes, very confusing.
So, yes, it was off to El Segundo to TJ Maxx, and we had a nice shopping experience there. Much more reasonable prices, yes?
How does that work when you're doing an event, or I should say just going about your normal everyday life, where you try to go to a TJ Maxx, or you go to just a bar or a restaurant, and you're traveling with security, which may be cumbersome as far as just trying to get in and get out. How do you manage that?
Well, we should talk about last weekend we went to the Santa Fe swap meet.
Yes.
And unfortunately, it caused quite a pandemonium, a little stampede as well. So, that's when we depend on our security to get us in and out very quickly. Again, man of the people. I'm not going to ride in a Pope Mobile with the glass.
No Pope Mobile?
No, you can hug me, you can touch me, you can give a big pat on the shoulder as well. But you have to be smart about the places you go. Don't hang out too long.
All right. When we come back and we're going to close our conversation, I want to delve into your political objectives, your legislative objectives, and maybe your world objectives, because I'm curious to know how the United States government may have or may not have responded to your request as far as sovereignty and how that may impact where you go next. Can you do that for me?
Did you say we're wrapping up the show?
No. In the next segment.
Okay, cool. I was told it was a 5-hour special. So
No. We're only on until 10 o'clock tonight.
Who comes on at 10?
A gentleman by the name of George Norrie.
Call him, tell him to stay home. Okay, we've got it covered, Mr. Norrie.
Oh, we know him.
I think he's listening right now.
We'll be back.
Is he the alien guy?
Yeah, he's the alien guy.
Yes, we know him.
Take a break, my friend. We'll be on with Mo all night tonight till about 2 a.m.
No problem.
The ladies arrive in 20 minutes.
The ladies are coming?
Oh, yes.
We have to up that percentage, remember?
You have ladies coming to the studio?
Downstairs right now, waiting to be buzzed in.
Are they scantily clad?
Yes.
KFI AM640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM640.
Can't afford to pass it by, guaranteed to make it right.
KFI AM640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. As we continue and conclude my conversation with His Excellency, the Sultan of Slowjamistan, and also Mark Corona, who's the chief border agent. Sultan, there was a serious turn in our conversation, and it happened during our Instagram Live off air.
Yes.
And you were relaying a story about a real conversation you were having in front of a Bangladesh audience. Tell me about it.
Yes. Well, look, we have said many fun things, right? Many jokes, some satire. We talk about the Armadillo Farm and we joke about the ladies. But there is a time to be serious. And so I tell you, this is 100% serious and we take it seriously. Over the past 10 days, we were fortunate enough to have a worldwide coverage. We went, I think the Americans say viral. We went viral.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
And the story exploded all over not just United States, but the world. For example, in Turkey, maybe 60 news agencies had covered it. Well, sometimes, my friend, the satire does not translate to different nations. Most of the places it translated. But the beautiful country of Bangladesh, and I say this because I've been there. I've been to Bangladesh. The satire did not translate to the citizens, and I am not sure it translated to the news because the nightly news on television in Bangladesh reported on Slowjamistan as a new country with a passport.
And they covered it seriously, straightforward, and they took it as actual news, and the citizenry responded how?
In droves. You have to understand the struggles that most people in Bangladesh go through, right? They just want a better life. Okay, you can't hold that against anybody. And so it is a barrage, and I mean it when I say thousands and thousands and thousands of emails and calls and DMs asking.
No exaggeration. We're being serious.
100%. Yes, 1,000%. And they are very good people, ready to move to Slowjamistan and asking, sir, how can I work for you? How can I have a visa? They're sending resumes. They want to bring their family. And that is when you have to stop the jokes for a quick second and have some empathy and then understand that these are very well-meaning people and they did not understand the satire. We put a travel advisory on the main page of the website, slowjamistan.org, that basically breaks it down and says, look, it's more of a virtual community. Yes, we have land, but it's 11 acres. It is not electricity or roads, sewer system, and water, etc. And of course, we are surrounded by the United States, and you must get a visa for the United States first. So I say this with all seriousness and with all empathy as well. We love people all around the world, especially the good people of Bangladesh. And it was, I don't want to say sad, but it was heartfelt to, after you tell them, some of them disappointed.
What does it say? And to be very serious, you've been seen around the world in a number of countries.
Yes.
You've been, your message has been heard around the world. You've been seen and people have been reaching out to you. What does that say about the power of media, the power of social media, the power of messages, the power of words, where you can be both an inspiring and a deflating person, depending on how they receive your message? What does it say to you this moment?
Of course, it says you have to be responsible and, look, I believe in two-way communication. So I think the worst thing people can do is be ignored. And this goes in all facets of life. And we pride ourselves on a country that is interactive. Look, if you send a DM to the White House right now, are they going to respond?
No.
They don't even like your tweet. They don't put the heart on it. If you reach out to Slowjamistan, we do our best to get back to everybody as quickly as possible with a personal message as much as we can. So you have to take responsibility with media, but it is a great connector and it can bring the world together. And I will tell you this to go to a more positive spin. And once again, something that Slowjamistan is for. We all know in this room, we can all agree, everybody listening, that I feel in my lifetime, America is more divisive than ever before. Than ever before. We are fighting the moment we wake up and open our phone and we look at the Facebook feed. People we know and love are fighting at each other and blocking and not even having a conversation. Slowjamistan is a place you go. You can leave all the arguments and all the political bickering, your party, your labels. You leave it all behind. We have one label in Slowjamistan. We are all Slowjamistanis. We don't want any other labels. It used to be back in America when I was a kid in the 1980s. I'm showing my age. We were all Americans, even if we had differences. We were all Americans. I think we've lost that, and it is very concerning. So perhaps Slowjamistan can teach a lesson to America and some of the other countries that are also divided, and we can all leave everything behind, even if we disagree, and for one moment be one together.
Your Excellency, one more time, how can people get more information about Slowjamistan? How can they contribute? How can they also become a member of your virtual community?
Fantastic. You know, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter at Slowjamistan. At Slowjamistan. Swipe right if you see the Sultan on Tinder. And of course, the website is slowjamistan.org. And we welcome.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming in studio this evening. Thank you for a wonderful Instagram Live. We got to do it again and have so many more conversations in the future as you continue to get your message out there and reach more people. So Our house is your house.
Mr. Nori texted me. He said he's glad to have the night off. So we'll spend a few more hours together. So you tell us what's happening next.
We certainly loved your show, my friend.
Well,
That
he's
is, for
listening
sure.
right now, so I might have to confirm that with him.
By the way, was Amy King picking the slow jams? Because it was fantastic taste. The Blue Magic and the Midnight Star.
No, that was me.
Fantastic,
That was me.
fantastic.
Oh, come
You're
on. Give
promoted.
me the credit, Mo.
It's Later with Mo Kelly, music selections by Amy King. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.